Because as long as we are losing that time, then I have to reframe again what I need to teach you. So it has to go in my brain also.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Before we begin our session, I would like to introduce our next resource person. Our resource person is Dr. T. Sadasivam from the Department of Public Administration. His research interest spans across e-governance, rural development, and other governances. He holds memberships in several prominent and professional bodies, including the Indian Institute of Public Administration. With over 9 years of teaching experience at the undergraduate level at Mizoram University College, and as well as 4 years at the PG level in MZU in public administration. He has made significant contributions to the academic community. Till date, he has published more than 50 research papers, along with one book and one edited book. Today, Sir will be delivering us a lecture on sampling techniques. With these short introductions, I will request Sir to take your time.
So fine, so thank you so much for, I don't need, I think I got introduction, but thank you so much. So, as he already said, I'm from Public Administration Department, and looking at all of you here, I can see some of the faces from my own department, some of the people from political science, and of course someone, my student from PUC in undergraduate psychology I taught a long back. I think I can see, nice to see our face also here. And I would like to thank the Department of Public Administration, especially Professor Lakshmi, for giving me a chance to, to just teach you, not teach. I will never say that I'm going to teach you as such, right? It's a partnership between you and me. So whatever I know, I'll just tell here, right? So whatever you want to learn, you take up. So it's not anything like give and take. So whatever I teach, if you think it's okay for you, you take it up, right? So what will be the rules? The rules is very simple in my lecture. And basically, although you might see I'm a little bit younger than those professors who came here, but my way of teaching goes to the older times. That is a blackboard, right? So although my PhD is on e-governance, which I did on e-governance, but I never believe on this PowerPoint and all. The reason is, because if I start using PowerPoint, then you people will be there only. You are not going to see me, and you are not going to see my lecture, or not going to hear my lecture also, right? So this is precisely one reason why I never use, in my classroom also, I never use PPT. In my MA classes also, in my PhD classes also, right? So forgive me, those people who are fond of PPTs, please forgive me for that. But this is the way of I teach, right? And anywhere, any between, if you have any question, any doubt, please ask me. Okay, everybody has got a freedom to ask me because there is a classroom. Any time if you feel you don't understand, you ask me. Clear? Now let's start. Now, as all of you know, we are supposed to start. I'm going to teach you about the sampling techniques, right? This is what I'm going to teach you. But what I have seen is that it's better to talk basically about the samplings, right? So before I come into what are the samplings, what do you mean by sampling, all those things, first of all, we need to understand a research. When we say research, right, all of you are a registered PhD research scholars. If you look at in the past ancient period, if you go, how basically knowledge is transferred. Because after all, why you are doing research? In order to gain knowledge, right? That is why all of you are doing about research. Or to contribute to the field of knowledge. Maybe in political science, maybe in public administration, maybe in social work, whatever field you are. So you want to contribute to knowledge. Now if you see ancient time, the knowledge are transferred. Any idea how knowledge are transferred in ancient time? Oral teaching, or what I say is the words of mouth. Right? Very simple. I will tell you what is this words of mouth. And this words of mouth is basically, it does not mean that whatever I speak, it's based on reason, or it is based on rationality, or it is based on logic, right? So whatever I'm speaking, there is no guarantee that whatever I'm speaking is based on the reason or a rationality or a logical thing, right? So what happened then suddenly? How this knowledge has developed in our society, in the human civilization as such? Because we are talking about human civilization, please remember, right? So the human civilization, basically you have to go back to, as I said, to the traditional society, and in the traditional society, basically you might have seen the age of enlightenment period, right? Or the age of reason. So what happened in this period? Enlightenment period or age of reason. Here the philosophers, right? Especially the classical philosophers, all of them, they started challenging the concept which is basically the religion, especially in the Western Europe. All of you know that, right? So they started challenging all this philosopher through their, what we call, logical reasoning, through their critical understanding. So slowly with this age of reason and enlightenment period, another thing happened. What is another thing? Anyone? After enlightenment period, age of reason, what happened? Any idea?
So technology.
Technology, okay, comes, but French Revolution, Renaissance, then all of you forgetting one thing. Somebody here. Yes, you're right. Industrial Revolution. So what happened? After Enlightenment, age of reason, another major thing which we are seeing is Industrial Revolution. Right? So if you see slowly how society is moving, how the knowledge are transferred, just see how knowledge are from the words of mouth. Now you started questioning all kind of concepts which has been given from the word of the mouth by anybody. So now you have started using what? Now you have started using what I said, reasons. You have to ask the reason, rationality, right? Logics, critical. I'm finding very difficult to write here, that's why. So these all you started asking, reason, logics, right? Rationality, then critical understanding. So this is how you have to first understand as a research scholar, please remember. Of course, you belong to different streams, but first of all, you have to understand how knowledge has been transferred from ancient time till now. Right? Is this clear, everyone? If you understand this, then comes straight to research. Now comes what? Coming to a concept called research. Now all of you know, I think since one day you might have been many people coming and talking to you, research is basically what? What is research? Research. Research, right? Anything else? Somebody tell you anything else?
Updating the existing knowledge.
Updating the existing. Okay, research, updating the existing. Then what else? Huh? Finding new knowledge. Okay, anything else? Anything new?
Ideas.
Ideas. So whatever you are telling me, all these I'm hearing when I was a student also. When I was doing my PhD in Delhi, Jamia Millia Islamia, Central University in Jamia, same thing, my teachers, whoever comes, they tell me the same thing. So what? You are telling me also the same thing. Nothing is new, right? And it will not change also. Of course, research is basically you are contributing a new knowledge or you are updating a knowledge. But even then, you have to take care of some things, right? When I'm saying creating a knowledge, new knowledge, or updating a knowledge, even then, you have to take care of some other things. And what are those three things which we basically see here? One is biases. Okay? Another is limitations. So one is bias, another one is limitations, and another one, third one is errors. Can you have cloth, soft cloth from canteen? Okay. Then we have errors. So please remember, these three are very important in any research. If you want to contribute a knowledge, okay, if you want to contribute a knowledge to any of your field, of your subject, then you have to take care of these three: biases, limitation and errors. Of course, later we will discuss about this. For the time being, just remember, research is of course creating a new knowledge, updating a knowledge, but taking into account these three also. Then only it is research. Please remember. Simply just saying, that's why I ask you, who are the people since Monday, what they told you? And I want to hear you from these three terms, but nobody told me. Right? So please remember always. So when somebody comes next day, tomorrow, if somebody asks what is research, then you have to tell this also. Along with developing new knowledge, updating new knowledge, also taking into account biases, limitations, errors. Is this clear? All of you clear? Till now, is it okay, smooth?
Yes.
Because till now I think it will come. Little heavy stones are coming. So please bear with me. Not blue. This is I could have bring from department. Okay. Now when we say research, research has got, can you see here, how many alphabets in research? You are counting. You are doing research methodology and you are counting there. Okay, for your sake I will count also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 alphabets in research. Right? 8 alphabets. But did you ever think about that every alphabet has got its own meaning? Have you ever think about? Every alphabet has got its own meaning. Right? So let me write here. So that if anybody who don't know, you can, if already somebody knows, then well and good. So R is rational way of thinking. So what is R? Rational way of thinking. Okay? Then E. Okay, no problem. Expert and exhaustive treatment. S, solution, search for solution. Then E, exactness. Exactness means original. We say na, research should be original. Every research should be original. So that is exactness. Now comes A, analysis. Right? R, relationship of facts. C, critical understanding or observation. And the most important, according to me, if you ask me, most important according to all these alphabets, as for a research scholar, PhD scholar, is H. I think many of you know what is H. Honesty and hard working. Right? So without this, you can't do research. Honesty and hard working. Can you see now? So this is what you should put here in your brain whenever you are doing any research. Right? Rational way of thinking. R means rational way of thinking. E means expert and exhaustive treatment. S means search for solutions. You are doing research for what? To find out a solution for a problem. Right? E means exactness, originality. A, analysis. R, relationship of facts. So when you try to analyze your field study data, what you're trying to do, you are basically trying to find out a relationship between the data, different data, right? Primary data. Then critical understanding. Just before I coming here, I was attending in our department one PhD, Viva. And the topic is National Social Assistance Program with reference to Indira Gandhi National Pension Scheme for Disability People in Mizoram. In that, the external who came from the morning expert from Professor Hawking, who came, one thing he highlighted. What is that? He said, a scholar, that is a scholar, Johnny, whose name is Johnny, he could have done more, this one, critical. A student could have done more critical. Now please remember, as a student, we are not a spokesperson of any political party. right? Or we are not a member of any government, either UPA Sarkar or either NDA at the center or Mizoram Sarkar here, right? We are not part of any. We are a student, or for me, I'm a teacher. So what? I need to critically analyze a policy, for example. If is it good, I say good. If it is wrong, I say it's wrong. So that's why critical part comes. Please remember, for your research, critical part is very important. Critical understanding is important. Now the last is honesty and hard work, which I already told you. Without which, nothing cannot be possible. Your entire, all this, please remember, all this is waste. All this is waste. If you don't have this, honesty and hard work. Right? So what I'm giving you, I'm just giving you a starting point, right, to start. Because when I asked the people here, the organizers, they told me that some of you are in first year or maybe maximum second year, right? So I think this is a time to give you this boost, right? What is that boost? This is a boost. So because if you don't learn now, then by the time fourth year comes, you're ready with your PhD submission, then you may not know what exactly is research, right? Is this clear? Any question, guys? Anyone? All clear? Research? Okay. So slowly now I'm coming to sample. Now, please remember, when we say any research, right? For any research, for the success of any research, sample is important. Please remember, right? If you have a good theory paper, your good theory chapter in your one of your chapter talks about theory, whatever you are studying. But if your sample is not good, or you have not taken precaution while selecting those samples, your entire research is waste. Right? So that is why you go back to the steps in the research process. What are the steps in research process? Can you start from the beginning? Anyone? Or together we can say, what is the first process? What is the first step in the research? Identification of the research problem. What is the second one? Second one, thinking. Even if it's wrong, no problem. Review of literature, okay, review of literature. Third one. Well, only this side people are answering. See, this sample is answering more. So it's a biases. I told you at the beginning. These people are keep silent, these two, this side. So, third one is what? Objectives. I think because why you are having a different varieties of answer, because belong from different streams, right? So let me come here. Basically what, in general, if you look at, of course many books have given different things, but in general what we start as problem identification, review of literature, right? Third is developing your working formative hypothesis, right? Then fourth is your research design. Clear? Then fifth is what you call the data collection. Clear? Then data analysis. Then after data analysis, what? So testing your hypothesis. Right? Testing your hypothesis, then data interpretation, then report writing. Now these are the steps. Now please listen carefully. Why I am telling you this? These are the steps in the research. Now in all these steps, from one to the last, the middle one is very important when I am saying sample. Which is the one? Research design. Right? So that is why research design is in the center. Please remember that. Right? Why is not the research design in the second one, or why not the research design in the last? No. There is a step, there is a stage. So research design is in the middle of your research process. So that shows what? That shows the importance of the sample. Please remember. That shows what? That shows the importance of the sample. It is in the middle of your research process. Is this clear? Everyone? Now comes, always one question comes to the minds of the researcher. Okay, I will ask you. What is the question which comes in the minds of the researcher? The mind of the researcher, one question always comes. Or I think you might also will be asking me, sir, should we go for the entire population? Or should we go for only the sample? Okay, when you go for your field study, there is always a dilemma in the mind of the researcher. But should I go for a population study, the whole population study, entire population, or should I go for a sample of the population? Later I will give you an example, so that in that we are going to study the different terms associated with samples, right? Now let me tell you frankly, there is no answer for that. Okay, there is no clear answer for that. It depends upon so many factors, which I will tell you later also. Should I go for a population or should I go for a sample? So what factors determines? That is what we have to study first. So what is the factor which determines should I go for a population or should I go for a sample? So what is that factor? The factor is, I am writing here, how fast you need the data. Okay? How fast you need the data. Somehow, because under me there are 7 research scholars who are doing PhD. So one research scholar says, sir, within month I want my data collection. Within month. Just imagine, within a month, how it's possible? Then some other research scholar say, no sir, I will go for pilot study. Then I will show you. Then they will decide how to frame it and all. And another student will say, sir, 1 year, 1 saal chalega. 1 year is okay, sir. 1.5 years is okay. Now see the different interpretation of a scholar, right? So the question is, should I go for a population or should I go for a sample in the mind of the researcher? So the factor which determines, is how fast you need the data. Suppose I know, as a research scholar, we want our PhD to be finished as soon as possible, as early as possible. We want doctorate degree, right? There are so many factors out there. Yeah? So this is also one of the factors. Second factor is, which determines are you going for a population or are you going for a sample, is about what kind of survey method you are adopting. Okay? What kind of survey method? Please remember. Are you using telephone survey? Some people use. Are you going to use self-administered questionnaire yourself or through the investigators? Or are you going to use the schedule? Right? So survey method, please remember, survey method also depends upon the factor. That is also one of the factors, which basically tells you, are you going for a population or are you going for a sample? Then the third factor is availability of the resources. So resources. When we say resources basically means, do you have a manpower? Do you have a sufficient money? Right? Like for example, telephone survey. I want to do a telephone survey. So I should make sure that my respondents have, all of them have telephones. Telephone means mobile, I'm telling. Of course, nobody uses these telephones. But still we use telephone survey. If you read the books, it says telephone survey. Right? But of course, nobody has got telephone, only mobiles. So as a researcher, I have to keep in mind that the resources, availability of the resources, right? What I just gave you the example, is all my respondents are having the telephone resources available or not, right? So this also becomes one of the most important factors. The fourth important factor is how well you work with sampling method. This is the most important. Sampling method. How well versed you are, how well you know the sampling method. Because there are so many sampling methods. So how well you know the sampling methods. That also determines your question of, should I go for a population study, entire population study, or should I go for only a sample? Right? Survey, different sampling methods. And of course, the fifth important and the last factor, I'm discussing only the factors, guys, please remember. The last important factor is how credible your data. So the data which you are going to collect from the field, how credible are, all of you understand credible? Right? The credibility of the data. Because that also becomes question mark. I'll give you, I was reading yesterday one news article in Indian Express, one news item, where anybody from Bengal? Because I have to be very careful. Bengali is here. So TMC MP, Sagrika Ghosh, right? She is a Rajasthan member from TMC, right? She is the wife of Rajdeep Sardesai, India Today, all of you know India Today journalist, famous journalist, Rajdeep Sardesai. She is the wife of Rajdeep Sardesai. She asked a question from Government of India, the minister, that did the Government of India publish National Crime Record Bureau, NCRB data? Right? You know, NCRB data are very full of literature, very good. If you go inside, you'll find a lot of data. And the government says, she asked about which year, till which year it is published. And government says, we are just published till 2022. And she asked why? Why you not publish 2023 and 2024 is going on? Then the reply from the government side comes that we are cross-checking the data again. Because every state, 36 states, and Union Territory, all if you combine, they used to give data to the NCRB. Now NCRB, with just close their eyes, they cannot publish. They also have to check, cross-check. So when I'm saying cross-check, what do you mean by? That means credible. So if Bengal government is saying in our state there is no love jihad, for example, right? Of course, it's a controversial term, but this is a classroom I can use. Or somebody in UP say, no, we have at least 2 cases in Tamil Nadu, my own state. They say, no, we don't have cases. How credible are? So you have to find out the credible data. So that is why, please remember, whenever as a researcher you think that are you going to study a population or are you going to study a sample, then these are the factors you have to keep in your mind. Of course, there are some other factors also, but these are the main factors. Is this clear? Anybody have any question? Please free to ask me, because this is the time you can ask me. Of course, that 1 hour, 1.5 hours we have to manage. Any question, any doubt? Yes? No, that is for you. No? Again, the biasness, no. One person cannot applicable to everyone, right? No question, can we proceed? Yes. Okay. Okay, now we are going to learn about, there are so many concepts and, or you can say terms, different terms in sampling, okay? In sampling. Or you can say terms, different terms in sampling. So let's start with population. So what is population? Because usually we always hear this term, population, right? In our research we always use, even I hope, how many of you already submitted synopsis? It's already approved? Okay, few people have already approved. So they might know very well. But there are majority of the people who might be confused about this population. I will give you an example, we can understand. Then comes sampling frame. Okay, only few I will tell you the important one. There are so many terms, but only few. Sampling frame, right? Then comes, we have target groups. Okay, target group. Then finally, where we have to reach. This is our final destination. Sample. Right? Sample. Now let me give an example so that all of you can understand. So example is, okay, let me frame a topic like this. A study on the awareness of women rights in rural areas. A case study of actual. Okay, this is an example, guys. So what is the example? The example is a study on the awareness of women rights in rural areas. Okay, case study of Panchal village. right? Now, of course, if you want to delete, I think rural area, right? Now we will see how we are going to see these all terms with this example. And if anybody have any question, please ask me, right? Now let's start with this. Let's say Tanshil village, all of I hope those people who come from outside, we are in Tanshil, right? This is Mizoram University located in the Tanshil. So let's say Tanshil village has a total population of 4,000. Let's say 4,000, which includes both male plus female. Okay, this is overall population. Okay, 4,000 overall, male and female. Now, because our study is what? Our study is about women. Please remember, our study is about women. So now we have to take out the women population out of this 4,000. Right? So out of this 4,000, let's say 2,000 is a women, for example. I'm giving equal parity, 50%. Right? So you have to remember that 50% is female. Right? Now this 50% will be what? This 50% will be your population, not the total population. Please remember, not the total population of Tanshil. Our study is what? Our study is about women. Right? So women is how many? 2,000 out of 4,000. So our population is 2,000. So that is population. Okay? Now, we'll go further. Now, out of this 2,000 female, we will divide into different age groups. Right? So what are the age group? Let's say 18 to 30. Right? This is one age group. Then we have 31 to 49. Let's say, for example, these are all examples. Then we have above 50. Okay? Above 50. 18 to 30 age group, women, all women, please remember. Right? 31 to 49, then above 50 years. Now this 2,000, if you see, look at this figure, let's say we'll put like this, 500 here, okay, 600 here, then 900 here, okay. 500 women in the age group of 18-30, then 600 between 31 to 49, then 900 women in the age group that is above 50 years. Right? Now, what we have said, our study is about women rights in rural areas. Right? In Tanshil village. So village. Yeah? Now we will see how what we are going to study out of these three, because all these three you cannot study. 2,000 is a big population. We are not census of India, right? We are not census. We are only one individual. Yeah. So we have to decide how to go about this. Now let's say we select this. So we are studying this from this age between 31 to 49. This one we are going to study. So this, accordingly, what you are going to do? So these 600 people, what you are going to do? You are going to frame a sampling. This is your sampling frame. It becomes your sampling frame. You don't understand frame? Photo frame, right? So what is your frame? Your sampling frame is what we decided. We decided that we are going to study in this group, 31 to 49. Now the question is, sir, how do we know that that in Tanshil village, who is between 31 to 49? How do we know? Anyone? How we are going to know that? Those 600 women in Tanshil village is between 31 to 49. How we are going to know that as a researcher? Huh? Directly asking the respondent. If you ask me, I will say I am 21 years old. Can you believe it? You can't believe it, right? So I mean, I'm just joking. But that cannot be a possibility if you ask a respondent, because why? Because it's very difficult. Age, you know, if you are age, we always say in, I don't know, in Indian culture, something like that, especially the women. Women never says, I mean, don't disrespect, there's no disrespect to you people. But usually, In our side, say, and in many places, I think they say women don't, and it's always not nice to ask a gentleman a question to a woman, right? What is your age? So usually this comes out of picture. I think the best is usually what, if you want a genuine data, what we see, we say electoral list, voter list. Understand? Voter list. That is a genuine list. Nobody can, of course, you can dispute that also. Now I think Bengal again, the same example, Bengal, the election voter ID card and Aadhaar, right? The issue which is going up. And now,
Bengal gives you so many political news. No?
that's what, ma'am, I go to you. That's what I said. Any Bengalis here in this class. That's what I said, right? So what I'm saying, you can find out as this 31 to 49 years age, you can find out in the voter list. Now, again, you might be asking questions, sir, what happened to a woman whose name is not on the voter list? It happens in India, right? A genuine voter, we may not find the names. Yeah? Then what happens then? You can't do anything. That women has to be excluded. There's no other option for us. That has to be excluded, right? So you have to frame a sampling frame. This is your sampling frame, right? Next. Now these 600, okay? Now these 600 which we already have a sampling framework, we already find out the list, because this is basically what sampling framework is basically a list of your samples you already prepared. Yeah? Now this 600, what we are going to do? Again, we are going to divide it into, we decided that this one we are going to study about 3 categories. One is those women who are single, I think I can't write, single, another is married, and another is widow. Right? 3 categories. We divide those 31 to 49 women into 3 categories. Those 600 women will divide to 3 categories. What? Those who are single women, those who are married, and those who are widow. Right? Now, and here also we will just give the numbers. Let's say single women are 200. Okay? Married women are 250. Then remaining how much? 150? Yes, 150. So 150 here. So 200 single women, then 250 married women, 150, what do you call this widow women, right? Now this will become what? This will become your target group. See, slowly we are coming down now. Target group. Your target is what? Your target is single women, married women, and widow. In sampling frame, we have not done that. Please remember, sampling frame is broader. It's a broader picture. Only list we have taken out. List of the women between 31 to 49. That's all. But in the target group, we just come down and we make it target. Who will be our target? So this will be your target. Please remember, single women will be your target, married women will be your target, widow women will be your target. Is this clear? Anyone? Any doubt? Because see, if you have any doubt, please ask me. Because once it is clear, then your concept, any research you can do it. Because population, always people confuse. Population, target group, sampling frame, sampling unit is also there, sampling elements. But I'm not discussing all those things. It will be within this short period, I can't discuss all this, right? So I'm discussing only the important points. Is this clear, everyone? Yes. Now comes the sample. So this is where you are standing. This is where, as a researcher, we have to collect our sample. Right? So starting from population, see the population, the overall population of a Tanshil village. Then the population of female, where we are going to study, women. Then sampling frame. Then comes what you call target group. Now the last one comes as sample. Now sample, what we are deciding? We are saying that, okay, of course there's a formulas are there, all of you know in economics people, especially confidence 0.5 confidence level, all those are there, 90%, 95. if you took out anything, let's assume that we want to study 300. So our sample, we want 300 women. Okay, by using all mathematical formula and all, we want to study 300 women. Right? These 300 women we are going to study. Now what we are going to do? We are going to take 100 from here, 100 from here, 100 from here. So this is a sample it comes. Well, like as I said, it's a mathematical formula. Right? Through mathematical formula you can take out. So only for a simple understanding, our sample will becomes what? We want to take 300 women we want to study. So from 2000, see from 2000 where we come? We come to 300. So 100, 100, 100. Even you can go further also. If you want to go further if you want to dig further, what you can do? I can give you one more. This 200 you can divide it again into this age group. Again this age group you can divide. Understand? This age group you can divide if you want to go in deeper and deeper. Because research is deep. Please remember that. Is this clear?
Education can also be a factor.
Yes, education also can become. Now, I'm coming to that one. Luckily, Shipra has told me correct one. Yeah, reminded me. Now, just listen carefully, guys. Here, can anybody tell me what is the major variable? One major variable here. Age. Very good. All of you know that. Age is one major variable. So, on the basis of age, we divided into the samples. Now, what Shipra was telling, can we do other variables also for analysis purpose? Analysis. Yes, we can do. Based on your education background. Let's say some women here, some might be 10th pass, some might be 12th, some might be graduate, some might be masters. Based on the family structure, occupation, religion, right? All these factors can be taken and you can analyze. So how Census of India do? So please, I always say to the students, whenever you get time, go and see which is the ministry which is handling. Right. Full form? Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. MOSPI, if you go to the MOSPI website, so rich data are there, MOSPI. I always go to that. When I was a research scholar in Delhi, when I was working in Delhi, always my teacher used to tell me, go to if you want to read, if you want to find out a data, please go to the MOSPI website. Where you can find, like if you are a economics background, household consumption data. Nowhere you can get household consumption data. Very fine as household consumption data. If you are from education, you can get especially the report on education where it talks about how education among different religions in India, the status of education. So many reports are there. And you can get it that one. Right? Of course, NSSO report is also there. What is NSSO full form? Let's stop.
National Sample Survey Organization.
National Sample Survey
Organization,
right? NSSO data is also there. Very good data are there. And I don't know, because many people here from Mizoram, I would like to request you. I think in Mizoram context, there's a lack of literature, especially on NSSO work. If you want to work on NSSO data for Mizoram context, you can write so many articles, brilliant articles, and I can damn sure it will be published in Springer, Routledge, everywhere, because the literature is very, very less academic literature. And Mizoram you can use. Now we have national phase 5 data are there. Phase 5 data, NSSO data are there. So you can work out there also. I think social work people, they have so much good data are there in NSSO, different criteria. Women, somebody who is working on women, so much data in the northeast. Our women are ready to use contraceptive pills. Just remember, because Mizoram HIV case is so high. All of you know HIV, Mizoram is the hotbed for HIV cases. You know that in India. In NSSO data, you can corroborate that women are they ready to use contraceptive pills, right? Condom or whatever, any other thing. Are they ready? Are their male partners are allowing that? Data are there. You can see that. And you can write a paper, very good paper, corroborating with HIV, why in Mizoram HIVs are more cases. Right? So this is how you have to think about as a researcher. Please remember, right? So is this clear? This example? All clear? Population, sampling frame, sample, right? Target population, right? So now once this is clear, then we will going back to the question the earlier which I asked you. Sir, should I go for a population study, entire population study, or should I go for only a sample study, right? Going back to the previous. So here comes what is the purpose of sampling? That I already told you now. There is no easy answer for that. It depends upon variety of factors. Right? Are you going for a population? Are you going for a sample? Usually, in social science, we go for sampling. Because all of you are part of social science, so we go for sampling. So if that is the case, then what is the purpose? Why we are doing sampling? We should know that, right? Why do we are doing a sampling? The first reason is large population. In social science, especially as I already said, the population is very large. Like for example, I already told you, that Tanshil village population 2,000, right? So after that, you are just getting down into less and less. Yeah, and more importantly, when we have a large population, plus when this population is scattered. I'll give you one example. During Corona, you know what happened in India? What happened in India? There are some people who migrated. Where? Urban areas or rural areas?
Urban to back rural.
Yes, very good. There are many workers in South India. They are coming back to the rural, especially in Bihar, right? UP. All of them migrating from urban areas to rural areas. By walking, everything, whatever they are getting somehow. Some people died also. They were long distance and heat and all, Corona, COVID time. Now why I am giving this example? Because till that time, Government of India don't have any data on migrants. Just imagine, India is such a big country, we don't have a data on migrants. Right? Then, now here, because why I am giving you this example of the migrants. Of course, some of CMI, I think economics people know CMI data, they have some of the data, but CMI data, I don't know. I always have some question mark on CMI data, right? But if we don't have any other source, so we have to take out that CMI data. CMI is a private organization, please remember. It's not any government organization data. CMI is a private organization. And of course, it's a commercial also. There is no free data. If you go to CMI website, you have to pay. You have to have a membership, right? So why I'm giving you that migration one? Because the migrant population is scattered in UP, Bihar, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. People from Rajasthan, because our friend is here from Rajasthan. I was very surprised to see when I go to my home state, Tamil Nadu, I see one person from Rajasthan. That's why I asked him, are you from Rajasthan? And he was speaking very good Tamil. Even I can't speak. Because I took all my education in Delhi. Right? So even I can't speak so much good English, Tamil what he was speaking. And I was very surprised to know he's a Rajasthani. Right? So the population is so scattered. Plus large population. So then what is the option for us? The option is sampling. And I'll give one good example if you want one more. One is, let's assume that all of you bought Audi car. 4-wheeler Audi, right? Audi car, very famous, very rich people have. It's a status symbol. So many people in India bought Audi cars. Now the Audi company wants to do a sample. Sample means they want to survey. Or what is the performance, they want to know from the buyers, right? How the Audi is perform according to the expectations or not. Now imagine if somebody 1 lakh people has bought Audi, for example, 1 lakh I'm saying very less, it might be more. Do you think it's easy for an Audi company also very rich? Do you think they can able to do a sample for 1 lakh? It's not possible. Because it's scattered all over India, big country like India, geographically so scattered, populated. It's very difficult to do that. Please remember. Right, so again they have to do a sample. They will select few cities, few states, right? So they will select a sample. So this is also one of the reasons, scattered. Is it clear? large population. Second purpose of sampling is accuracy. And here the good example is blood sample, right? So if you go to a lab, any lab, Lalpath or anywhere, either they take blood from here or any part of the body. They just take only a sample, right? A few drops. And that few drops represent your entire body of sample, the blood, the characteristics. So I am O positive. So how I will know I am O positive? Just a few drop of a sample of my blood, it characterize my entire blood in my body from head to till my knee, right? So sample accuracy, please remember, sample accuracy is also important. Now here, again there might be some question it might be going on. How sir, okay, sample blood though we understand. But when it comes to the collecting data from the field, when I go to the field, how do you say it's accurate? I'll tell you how it is accurate. Let's assume if I give you two options, 2000 sample and 3000 sample. If I ask you, which one will be easy for you? Tell me, 2000 or 300? 300. And in 300, you will put all your efforts. Every single individual you will go and collect. But if I said 2000, what you will do? You will fill the form for 10 people, right? I'm telling you reality, please don't make me wrong. Because I also was in that side. When I was PhD, I was also on that side. Now I'm this side, so it does not make any sense, right? So I was also on that side, so what we do, I should not tell, but this is ethics. That's what Shyam Kishore sir was telling yesterday, ethics in research, right, when Shyam Kishore professor came. So, if I said 2000, I'll say, yaar, 100 to main bhar dunga, right? I will fill 100. It happens also, many people do. I can tell you that. I'm not hiding any, many people do that. So where is the accuracy then? If you have a large population, where is the accuracy? Right? There is no accuracy. At least in 300 you have accuracy. At least you think I can do it myself. Right? So this is accuracy. Please remember. Yeah? And third is, it is economical. This one which we already studied. Economical means if you have a few population, then you don't need to hire any investigator, right? Yourself you can do it. The cost will be less, right? For many other things, even for taking a printout also, if you have a 30 questions, at least it might be 7 pages, let's say, questionnaire, right? So many factors are there, economical factors also there, right? Hiring, traveling. If I say 2000 population, you need to travel so many times. You have to spend from your pocket. So as a research scholar, do you think you are able to pay that much? Even though you might get national fellowship for scheduled tribe, for scheduled caste, whatever, JRF, SRF. SRF also you get. Because when I was Delhi, I was getting a JRF, right? So even that time, I think the first year I got around 20,000, I think, if I'm not wrong. 20,000 I got. So even 20,000, I was thinking, because my case study was Tamil Nadu and Haryana. I was doing e-governance, comparative study of Tamil Nadu and Haryana. So I have to go to Tamil Nadu also, and I have to go to Haryana also, and I have to come back to Delhi also. So I was thinking 20,000 is sufficient for me. Should I go? I mean, so many things always keeps in the minds of the researcher. Please remember all this. Right? So economical also, it also comes into picture. So in short, please remember why we go for sampling, because of all these 3 major reasons. Right? So because of these 3 reasons, we go for sampling. And of course, whenever we say sample should be representative of your population, always we say that. Please remember. If your sample is not a representative of your population, then your entire research is wrong. So that is where sampling comes. That is where sampling method comes. So that is why you have to be very focused on your sampling method. Again, I'm telling you, repeating again and again, why you need to put focus on sampling method? Because if you are not putting focus on sampling method, then your sample become unrepresentative of your population. And when it is unrepresentative of your population, when it does not represent your population, what happens? Your entire research gone wrong. Your all results gone wrong. and there is no use of that. Is this clear?
Yes.
Everyone clear? Okay. Now, I think 1 hour is over. Now I come directly to the next 15 minutes. I will discuss about sampling, some of the important methods. Then after that, I will open for Q&A. If you have any question, then you can ask me. In between also, you can ask me. No problem. Okay, before I go into this, can all of you stand up? Stand up. Just do some exercise. Do some exercise. Now, of course, in one class, I can't teach you what is probability or non-probability, right? So at least I can give you a gist of what is probability, what is non-probability. And I guess many of you already know, probability is probability sampling.
Equal chances of selection.
Equal chances of selection of what selection? Sample.
Respondent.
Happening of event.
Equal chance of getting selected
As a respondent. Again, everybody is using respondent, sample. I want one term which you are not using. Equal chance, right? You are right, you are absolutely, I am not saying you are wrong. But there is one proper way of telling what is probability sampling.
So, being represented. From total number of outcome, the number of people upon total number of outcome is the probability.
So that's fine for me. But somebody is saying sample, my friend is saying sample, my friend is saying respondent. For that there is another term. No. Have you heard about units and elements? We say sample units or sample element. That is the term you have to use. Please never say respondent. We have not come to that. Right? So you have to say sample units or sample elements. Right? So probability sampling basically what? Probability sampling, like what you already said, where every unit of the population has got equal chance of representing in your study. Okay? In the study, that is probability sampling. Now non-probability is what? Simple language, not dictionary, no dictionary, no Oxford.
Biasness.
Okay, biasness is there, of course. Biasness in probability is also there. I can give you a number of examples. But of course, in theory, if you look at theory, we say biasness is very less in probability.
Purposive.
Okay, purposive. Okay, good. So non-probability, basically very simple language is, non-probability means where everything is on the shoulder of the researcher. He has got all the freedom to do whatever he wants. Please remember, very simple meaning of non-probability is, in non-probability, researcher has got full freedom, like a Superman, or like a Shaktiman. Right? All of you I also watched Shaktiman during my school days. Right? College. So, you have all kind of power, Shaktiman, you do whatever you want. That's why my friend is saying bias. Because when you have all kind of freedom, you will do biasness, definitely you will do. There is no chance of saying that you are not going to do biasness. The biasness will be there. So, probability and non-probability. Now, when it comes to social science, okay, when it comes to social sciences, Basically, we try to follow probability sampling as more as possible. Please remember this sentence again, what I'm repeating again. In social science, we use probability sampling as more as possible. And everybody is using probability sampling. Please remember that, right? Now in probability sampling, of course, there are so many other methods out there. Simple random sampling, you already heard, right? Stratified random sampling is also there. Systematic is also there. You have cluster is also there. Then you have multi-phase, multi-stage also there. So everything is there. But let me see according to the time. I'll just try to discuss these three because these three we use more. Simple random, though, it's rectification. Every student in their synopsis, I have seen so many synopses in my life. Like what I think my introduction when they gave, she said I'm around 13 years of my teaching experience, right? Total, if you put my UG and PG, around 13 years of my teaching experience. So in 13 years of experience, I have seen so many synopsis in political science, in public administration, psychology also, social work also. So what we do, we simply, the student write simple random sampling. Very simple, you just write, because he wants to be simple, so he said simple random sampling. That is a common use. Please remember, that is a common use in social science, simple random. And the best method is, in simple random, how you do?
Just pick anyone.
You just pick anyone? Okay, I'll give you one. In simple random, the best is a lottery method. Let's say an example. There are, let's say Mizoram government has constructed 100 houses. Okay, listen carefully. Mizoram Sarkar has constructed 100 houses. And the applicants is 1,000. Okay, so 1,000 people have applied for 100. Now how Mizoram government is going to select? How Mizoram government is going to allocate those 100 to those 1,000 people? How they are going to do?
They list 1 to 100, they'll give numbers.
Very simple. If you have a list, right? The lottery, how lottery works? Lottery works very simple. You just give the numbers and another page you take out and in that you write the names or whatever. You put it in a vessel or a jar, just steer it and ask somebody, some small child, right? Or in Delhi, I still remember in Delhi Development Authority, DDA used to be there. You know how they do? They ask a judge, a High Court judge, Delhi High Court judge to come, or a chairman of DDA, Delhi Development Authority. He comes, he will stand there. He'll pick one by one, right? One by one. So this is what simple random sampling. Very simple. So student also, like what my friend again said, I'll choose from here, I'll choose from here, I'll choose from here. So simply you choose from here and here. So simply we say simple random. Now when you come to stratified sampling, stratified, very simple. Again it says strata. Strata means subgroups. Okay, you are dividing into subgroups. So what you are doing, now for stratified sampling, please remember you should have a large population. If you have a small population, you cannot do stratified. Please remember that. You should have a large population. That is one condition. Second condition is, it should be heterogeneous population which you are going to convert into homogeneous. Okay? Let me write very fast so that you can understand. Let's say, okay, seeing all of your faces, I'll give you one example. Okay, I saw your face. Okay, don't mind. I'm drawing here. Okay. So, now, all of you listen carefully. How stratified sample works. These are all your faces. Can you see here heterogeneous? This is different, Okay, this is different, this is different. So what is a study? Let me give a title also, study. A study on the opinion of this research course about Sir Shivam's class. How they behave in Sir Shivam's class. Okay, what is their behavior after seeing your face? So this face means neutral. So somebody are neutral. This face neutral. Okay, and this face very happy. Smile, happy. Right? This face not happy. So these students saying no, sir, class is boring. Boitla, very useless. Right, in Mizo, I'm using Boitla, right? So they are useless. And these people are neutral, they are confused. Is it good or is it bad? They are neutral, right? Now these all are what? Heterogeneous, right? Heterogeneous. Now these heterogeneous population, what you are going to do? Now you are going to convert into homogeneous. So how you are going to do? These two, put it here. These two, I mean same. Those who are neutral, put here in one group. Those who are happy, put it in here one group. Those who are unhappy, put it in here one group. So you are going to put it in a group. So inside the group, can you see? Inside the group, I think I have to draw. So let's say this is one group. Can you see? These all are heterogeneous, different. From outside, different. But from inside, homogeneous. Understand? Homogeneous means similar feature. So what is a similar feature? Here the person who are neutral. So within the group they are homogeneous. And outside the group, heterogeneous. These are different, no? This is different, this is different, this is different. So that is heterogeneous. Right? And from here, then you are going to collect the data. Randomly, you collect data. That's why we call stratified random. So you stratify. Stratify means you create different subgroups. These are subgroups. Right? We created groups, and from this each group, randomly select sample. Randomly you select sample. So this is called as stratified random sampling. So for stratified sampling, very simple. A population should be large, plus a population should be heterogeneous. And you have to convert heterogeneous into homogeneous. Right? Now coming back to this non-probability. Non-probability, here what you can do is very simple. I'll give you from MZU examples also. Here we can have, I think you have Q&A also, no? I have to keep it. So one has convenience sampling. Another one has purposive sampling. So let me only discuss these two. Of course, there are others also there. Open quota sampling is also there, right? So snowballing is also there. But for your understanding, because these are why I'm choosing these two, because as a researcher in social science, we always use these two. Convenient sampling. Very simple. Term says what? Which is very convenient to you. Very convenient to you. For example, let me give an example. My friend, what's your name? Shampita, yes, from this state? Assam. So my friend Shampita from Assam, she wants to study from Assam University. Okay, she wants to study about the university students in Assam University. Okay, students of Assam University she wants to study. Now what she will do? Her convenience. She might find some students standing in veranda. She will go. Achha, tell me, or I'm filling the questionnaire. She will go to in the classroom. She will go to playground. Somebody in the cafe, canteen. Okay, wherever she find convenient. Okay, in library, in playground, in canteen, in veranda, wherever it's convenient for her, she will do. So that is convenience sampling. Convenience for you, which is convenient for you, right? Very conveniently. Now, if you come to purposive sampling, very simple says purpose. There is a purpose. And when I'm saying purpose, for example, why I chose a particular sample. There's a purpose. And what is that purpose? Again, you say you are basically using what? Judge. You are using judgmental. This is also called as judgmental sampling. Please remember. You are using your judgment. One good example is, let's say I want to study about the beggars in Aizawl city. For kind information for our friends from outside, here you can't find beggars. Very, very difficult in Aizawl city. Right? You might find some of them in Assam rifle side, they're 1%, 2% each percent, but it's very difficult to find here. Right? So for example, if I want to study on beggars, I know where they are. I'm using my judgmental. Only in these two places I can find the beggars. Right? So I'm using my judgmental, purposive. I can't find beggars in some other places. So purposively I am selecting those samples. And where I know that where I can found those. A good example is beggars. Okay, in Aizawl city. Right? So in short, if you see, like I already said, again coming back to the question of, sir, how much sample should be adequate? 100 is okay, 200 sample is okay, 500 sample is okay, or 1000 sample is okay, or 1500 sample is okay. Now please remember the answer for this question. I'm repeating it. Last 5 minutes. How much sample is adequate or sufficient? Because this question will come to you on your third year. When you are going to do your third year of your research, when you enter, or when you are going to go for a pilot study, then this question will come to your mind. How much sample I should collect? Is it 100, is it 200, is it 500, or 600, or 1500? Now please remember, the question for this, the answer for this question, how much is adequate? Again, it totally depending upon your population. Always remember, your population. If your population is large, then you have to think about your sample size. Because your population is large, easily you can get. You are not going to focus on proportionate. Because your sample is so, your population is so high. But if your population is less, like for example beggars in Aizawl city, then too you have to think about representativeness. If I select only 2 beggars, how come it will be representatives? Right? So your population, your nature of your study, purpose of your study, what is your research design? Is it exploratory, explanatory, right? Descriptive? What is your research design? What is your study? That also depend upon. And more importantly, depend upon the variability. What kind of variability? Are you going to take sample from different backgrounds? People from different religion, different caste, different educational background, male, female, third gender. So many factors, variables comes into picture. So it's not easy, please remember, it's not easy to decide what kind of, how many samples should I have in my study. It's totally depend upon your population. Remember 3 things. Your population, your objectives of your study. Third is, what I said, your research design. Okay, research design means what kind of a study? Descriptive or exploratory or other thing, what you have. So based on this, usually, if you are using statistical inferences, we usually say 100 samples should be there at least. For statistical, because if you want to put some sample in statistics for analyzing, at least 100 samples should be there. At least, that's what they say, right? So even that's why you see why the census of India data could not come after 2021, because 2011 census, the last census we had. Just imagine, even a government of India, such a big country and such a government of India with so much money, manpower, we could not conduct a census. From that itself, you imagine how difficult is collecting data from each individual. Can you understand? Now we are in 2025. We don't have a sample. We don't have a census. Latest census. We are still using 2011 census. So how difficult if it is difficult for government of India, then think about yourself. So that's why please always think about yourself when you do your sampling. Think twice, thrice, 4, 5th time, 6th time you think before you decide your sample. Because if your sample is not correct, if your sample is not representative, your entire study is wrong. Always remember that. So that's why your sample should be appropriate. Your sampling method, what kind of sampling method you are adopting? Simple, random, stratified, cluster, purposive or convenience? What kind of sample you are adopting? You should always keep in mind that. And one another challenge, like from my experience when I was doing my PhD, especially in Haryana, is your sample become unrepresentative when. So the question is, your sample become unrepresentative. You know why the sample become unrepresentative? Because of two reasons. One is non-response from the respondents. I'll give you one good example. My student he did a recent, he was working on RTI. He did, no, one student, RTI to done, one student doing on cyber crimes in Mizoram. Among the college students, one student is doing cyber crime awareness among college students in Mizoram. He came with the questionnaire and I asked him, total 29 questions are there, and what happened? Many students have not attempted. He said, sir, they don't know. Or sir, they just miss it. They just say it next day. So whenever, please remember, when you go to the field, please make sure that the respondent fill all the questions. If it's unresponsive, some questions are unresponsive, visit the respondents into the field. Don't do it at home, don't try to fill it from your side. Right? So if you do it so that is non-contact. So one is non-response, another is non-contact. So if you do those two, if you take care of these two, your sample will be good. If you don't take care of these two, your sample is unrepresentative. Right? So in short, this is what I want to tell you guys. There was a shortage of time. I don't know I could do justice with my class. And of course, if you have any question or any doubt, you are free to ask me. I think still 5 minutes. Didn't we? 5 minutes is there. Because as long as we are losing the time, then I have to reframe again.